So just to start with, as we had discussed, you're giving us permission to go ahead and videotape. So
That's
some of
correct.
this will be used for educational purposes, and really for this research study that we're working on. So we hope that it will make a difference. Okay. And thank you for letting us videotape. So, James, I know that you've actually experienced some significant workplace trauma.
Correct.
But I also know that you have some other, historical things that have troubled you over the years, and these things tend to sometimes weave together and make life a little difficult, right?
Correct.
But really, the thing that is bringing you here is the trauma that you experienced in your work, and I know that has really been a huge issue.
It's very big.
Yeah.
Really big.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Bigger than expected.
Bigger than I know, and that's the thing about trauma. It can be so disturbing and so disruptive, and this has been very disruptive in your life.
Correct.
Let me tell you a little bit about where I want to go today,
Okay.
and hopefully we can take the time to look at some of the things that I've read some of these things already about you, because we had a report put together, so I know some of these things already. But one of the things that I really would like to do is understand the kind of impact that this event had on you. Now, I don't want to talk about the event specifically. I want to talk about how it impacted you, what you noticed after the event in terms of your sleep, your stress response, those kinds of things. I want to focus on the symptoms, right? Okay. Because that'll give me a really good idea about the approaches that I think we should work on, that I hope will help you.
Okay.
And because you probably don't know this already, we use a three-phase or triphasic approach, and we always start with exercises to find calm and stabilize, and then exercises to help you work through the trauma, which you experienced, and then exercises to help you reconnect back to the things that were most meaningful for you. And I think that would really resonate with you,
Yes.
given what's happened in your
Yes.
life. Yeah. So let's just start with one thing. Can you just, within 7 to 10 words, just state what it is that happened? Because we're not going into storytelling today.
Okay.
I just want to know in about 7 to 10 words what happened, where it happened, and when.
On September 11th, October 11th, I was mauled by a pit bull at my work location in a back room, a quarantine area.
And that was part of your job.
Correct. That was my job, to look after that dog and others.
When you think about this event, even today, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is not at all disturbing and 10 is the worst feelings of distress, how disturbing is this memory for you? Now, when I ask you that question,
right now,
yes.
I'm at like about a 7 or 8.
Right.
If I would sit and think about it a little more, I could go to a 10.
Right. Okay.
And I was telling Parnas that sometimes it depends. Like, I can be perfectly fine and not think about it at all. Well, the other day, I'm in the building and I work there. And
Yep.
I can be a 10 within coming around the corner and looking at that hallway.
The trigger.
And it is work related, so I'm being triggered every day I go to work. Every day. I have to work still. They've modified my work, but I still get triggers because I'm in the same building, do the same jobs. I'll be honest, the dog's still there, and I'm not allowed to go in that building. So I work at the building connected to it.
And this is less than 2 months ago, this event. Because you said September.
No, it was last year.
September 11, 2014.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So it's
just
almost a year. It's just a little more than a year
Correct.
ago.
Correct.
And the trigger feels very fresh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very. Like, I know I don't want to go. I will not put myself to see that dog right now. I know that I do not want to, but I could feel it. Like, I'll come around the corner and there's the door there, and I feel like it was yesterday I was in that room.
Of course it does. Yeah, because that's the impact of a huge trigger. Okay, so this is what I want you to do, because now what we've done is we've ignited it all. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel agitated.
I know you do, and I'm sorry that it's
No,
a tough, but it is
it's-
part of the
yeah, no,
process. Because
totally, I
now what I
understand
want you to do is I want you to just describe to me what you feel. What's the impact?
I'm agitated
Where do you feel that?
in my gut, in my core.
Mm-hmm.
My senses are firing right now. Like I'm kind of panicking a bit.
Now describe to me panic.
I feel like the room's smaller. I feel like I'm starting, my heart's pounding. Can't breathe very well. I'm also in the feel where like I kind of want to bust down, but I know that I don't want to. Like I just really want to cry, and I'm not. That's not me as a person. I just feel kind of hopeless instantly. That I can't control what's going on.
In your own body.
Yeah, like I just feel I'm hot all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's physically taking over me too.
Mm-hmm. The physical
and
impact is huge.
It's huge, physically and also emotionally. Like if right now I couldn't even think about my own phone number, like it takes over my whole train of thought when I start thinking about it.
Creates mental confusion.
Correct.
Can you go back to what you just described as panic sensation, heart pounding, cannot breathe?
I feel hot. I have to concentrate on breathing, and just trying to relax myself.
What do you do about that to manage that?
I do purposely go back to your breathing exercise. I just kind of stop, sit back, just try to relax, breathe deeper, try to not think about that incident, just, realize that, I am okay. I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I keep thinking about all the time.
So you try to tell yourself something positive.
Positive, yes.
And how much does that work?
It does work for me.
Good. But not enough to get you back to where you need to be.
No.
Okay. That's a
like,
question.
I can calm myself down, but it's not instantly.
Yeah.
Like I can't just go, okay, forget about it and move on. I can't.
Okay. So I know that you're working with some kind of breathing exercise, but I think that we can actually take that a step further as well.
Okay.
Because the symptoms that you're describing, they sound very automatic. They happen very quickly.
They are.
As soon as we have this conversation, you find yourself slipping into that place where, it's like 7 to an 8 to a 10.
Correct.
That's very ignitable. So that means that event that happened over a year ago is still having an impact on you today.
Correct.
And we need to do something about that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very yes.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want to be like this.
What kind of changes have you made in your life as a result of this event? How has your life changed as a result of this event?
I'm a very big dog advocate. I will not go to a dog park. I'm afraid. I've never been afraid in my life. My work has been altered. Everything about me has been altered. My pleasure time is interrupted. Like I do not take pleasure. The other day I was at my friend's farm rescue, and I said I don't want to go see the dogs. Normally that would be the biggest part of my day, just go up there and hang out with the dogs. I don't want to do that right now. I have no interest. I actually don't want to.
So instead of it creating pleasure, the
It creates
feeling is?
discomfort, displeasure. I get angry.
Now you're avoiding the very thing that you used to love.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I get angry, upset, pissed off. Every negative connotation I could put towards that incident is what I have.
I want you to just notice your heart rate and breathing right now.
My heart rate's high. I'm agitated.
Yeah.
I know that I get this way when I'm thinking about it.
Now your heart rate is fast.
Correct.
Breathing.
It's fast.
And anything else.
It's shallow.
So your breathing is shallow
I
and
feel a little bit hot. Like, I know it's not hot in here, but I feel like clammy. I feel like I'm sweating. I kind of notice my eyes darting around.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm in a panicky mode.
Right. For sure.
You know, like I'm uncomfortable, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
And I feel comfortable in this room, but I'm uncomfortable when I think about it.
Well, you're uncomfortable in your body, and you're just by describing it, you're going back to that feeling. It gets fully ignited,
Correct.
as if it's happening again.
Correct.
Even though it's something from the past.
Correct.
That's very important, because when you live with something like that, it's almost as if the trauma, which is something that's not happening today, is a fully bodily felt experience for you.
Yes, it is.
That's painful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's painful and draining.
Painful and draining.
I feel drained when I just feel emotionally drained.
Every time that you ignite to this, and it is still unresolved, obviously it's still unresolved.
Yes.
Every time you ignite to this, your body is going into a fight or flight response, which is the way we get out of harm's way, out of danger.
Yes.
Even though today there's no real danger, the body holds that memory, and it's dumping adrenaline and cortisol and all these things that get you prepared to run away or fight off something that's dangerous. And what happens is the body actually will turn down. It gets exhausted from that fight. So that's probably why you're finding yourself slipping into that exhausted and depressed mode, because it's very hard to keep that going. And because there's lots of reminders of the trauma, this is probably happening all the time for you. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, medically I'm in that field, but I also know it was my adrenaline to save my life.
Exactly. And so now you have a real hook back to, we're all wired exactly like this. It makes perfect sense that you responded like that, but it gets embedded in the nervous system. Yeah. So now lower level reminders of the same event can ignite you to the same level of strain. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that track, that pathway is now available to you when it wasn't in the past.
Correct.
Right.
I never felt like this before. On the 10th. I loved my life. I had an amazing life.
Right. So what we need to do is we need to work through those things so that you can reclaim some of this stuff back again. Okay? And the best place to start is harnessing calm. You know, I'm going to say that. It's harnessing calm. But it's also about learning to really retrain your body so that you really have so much more control over that piece, and that when it becomes a regular practice, a daily practice, it becomes much more available to you. It's like you are really going to retrain your body so that it can help you manage those symptoms. But what that does is it lays a really great foundation to doing the trauma practice work, where you actually work through the trauma memory. Okay, so which means that some of the stuff I'm going to teach you, I need you to be practicing every single day. And I'm just going to check the time, and we are actually doing really, really well. So what I'm going to do is today I'm actually going to see if we have enough time to hook you up on a biofeedback system. Okay. And I'm going to show you how that works. And hopefully you'll leave today with another exercise that I want you to practice, okay? Okay, perfect.